Stepping away from business for a moment, you worked as the director of research at Samsung, connected to education and digital platforms. You have spent years watching institutions try to transform, and yet most classrooms today look the same. So,
Shit isn't. Yeah.
why has education not changed faster even after decades of digital transformation?
The CC answer, because it doesn't need to.
Okay.
So
Right?
like,
Because the students take it, parents pay for it. What you actually buying is not so much education anymore. You buy the credential. Agree? I'm not buying the education. I mean, what can I, if I actually would, for example, my classes, I would be serious about the education process. I would say, look, you should be research about that. Go talking to ChatGPT for the basics about this topic, and then let's have a conversation. What ChatGPT can help you, right? And then have a good more essay base.
correct.
Right? But then if you do that, students don't want that. Some students just want to sit there, whatever, give me the assignment, get the grade, and I get out of here, which I get it. Right? So we do that. Professors don't want that, because if you start to change too much, I have all this
Little
material
extra work.
prepared. Look me, yeah, I have all the material prepared. I just go there and drop.
So, but I have a question. Like, you did try to change the system, like by digitalizing the platforms, trying to give students tablets and try to learn more interactively, right? So, what do you see? Like, what happened for that? That
Do you
experiment.
see the tablets being used on
Now,
schools today?
But with the intent of AI, with the start of AI, maybe in the next 50 years, will the
This,
classroom change?
look, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, you're gonna get, that's a good question, we're gonna get to that. 40 years ago, when computers started to came about, everybody say, wow, the next generation of universities,
Correct.
schools, etc., are gonna be computer based, you're gonna have computer everywhere. So that's been for 40 years. As you say,
So
it's
to an
exactly
extent, we
the
are
same.
using computers in our day-to-day
But not
classes.
inside the class, right? They use for another thing, not for the education process. Because if I would use for the education process, first thing, the classes could be way shorter. Agree?
Right.
I could make a class that would just go there. Okay, this is the core topic. This is what you should learn. Go to your AI, etc., ChatGPT, etc. And then when you come back, let's just discuss what's the student question. To do the so-called flip education center is way better. If first I'll teach how you should research, etc., how you use AI for that, and then use, because I do that. When I need to
Yes,
learn
you
a
do.
topic, I go there and use AI and I do in classroom as well, right?
Yes.
I say you have to use AI because if you use on behalf. But then AI being the solution. What I see, and actually I was talking to a friend of mine working there, AI in education today is way more the problem than solution. They try to make, how we have this technology is not there.
Correct.
Why, right? Why I'm still doing PowerPoint? Why I'm still doing lecture? Why actually need the thing? So understand education is not, it transforms a lot from transfer of knowledge, which is not the case anymore, right? You can get way more updated knowledge from, well, it doesn't need even to be ChatGPT, from AI, from the internet, right? Then I could provide you that. It becomes way more guidance on what knowledge should be acquired and some credential, right? Say, look, you got to this point, etc. See, my classes, I try to do project-based because I think to do task-based is a waste of time.
It's not that efficient, like I said. Yeah.
Do it, I mean,
In my first semester in your class, I felt like the project-based part of it, in every single class, you giving us tasks and we, trying to experiment the particular topic taught in the class was way more effective than me like going back home and just doing my work and learning from it.
and that's the idea. At least you give the guidance. Good students like you, when I get the guidance, I'm going to say, look, let me, that's something that I should understand this, and I doesn't understand the whole thing. But this gives me a new concept,
Correct.
which is part of education. In the past, maybe, because difficult to access material, maybe even before my time, the education there is how I bring the material together so we have access. Right? Once the internet came about with Google, it's already what you should be searching and how you should read it.
Right.
That was the Google time, right? And it was a challenge because now you have way more access to material than the 2 books I can bring into classroom. Today become more, okay, how you critical think what you should be using ChatGPT, whatever, Gen AI, to develop the thing. But it's more about what concepts you should be learning, how you should be critical thinking about the thing, right, etc., than actually me providing any material.
Good.
Right? One point just clear. Education also there is credential part, right, which is you're able to have at least had exposure to this set of knowledge, which of course you could do by yourself, but that was the history of humanity, right? You could get a book and read by yourself. And understand there is another social aspect of education, which is not all students are the same, right? You have case of students with disabilities, students with dyslexia, etc., that needs another kind. So there is variations as well, right? So you understand this is a big normalizer. It exists for that. But should like this sort of think, now we have this, we're going to have to recreate the classroom because look, if you recreate the classroom, every time we have a new technology, right? We had Google, we had mobile, we had tablets,
but
we
then
have
isn't that how
ChatGPT.
offices are actually updating? Like in the workspace, right? We do see the new technology being adapted every single year, and they change the way they're working. Like for example, now they're changing the way they're going to store the data and how they're going to access it and give a new product to the customer. So why not in the learning platforms? Why not in the classrooms? They change every year. Because isn't that good? Like, won't that push us more forward?
Because the objective of the education is to create a credential kind of system, right? It's a credential thing. You have, you don't have, right? One question we had another day is it still worthwhile?
Yes, I was about to ask that.
Right?
With the power of AI and AI teaching so many different stuff, do you think that putting in $80,000, $90,000 for a bachelor's degree?
You know the story I told you guys before. So I had a parent of a student a few weeks ago called me for a very nice guy. In case he sees that, student sees that, and he called me for a lunch, etc. And he said, "Look, we hear all this thing about AI replacing jobs, AI, etc. Look, I'm putting a second mortgage on my house to pay. Because I'm going to be spending 800, whatever amount of money in this education." I mean, the question was simple: is it still worthwhile? Should I still mortgage my house, right? To that, and that's the seriousness.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
it. And my answer to that was, first, it all depends how serious you guys gonna take it. I hope your kid, which is a good kid, I know the case, take it serious, right? See the sacrifice the parents are doing. I know you guys doing, right? To be here and to take education of the expectation of what's going to happen next. Because education per se, especially higher education, it's as effective as what you're going to be doing next. It's not for the classroom. This is how I say, right? It doesn't matter grades, etc. What matters is what comes next, right? You get a job, you become employable, you build a startup, you join an NGO, you're going to work in an office. Doesn't matter. Whatever it make you happy. We are talking about technology education, of course. Then you're going to have the education for health. You're going to have education for doctors. That's another. I don't want to go. It's not my area, so I'm not discussing that. That's more important. Talking about technology innovation. Is there anything that's bad? The first answer is better to have it than not to have it.
Right.
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 Imagine if you guys go there and say, "Look, I learned everything from ChatGPT. I'm a great software engineer."
But then $80,000. $80,000. Come on, you can get a certificate for probably $800.
I don't know how much is that, so but look, it's better to have than not to have. Having said that, you see these guys, Bill Gates, etc., they have education, right? They went there, build a company, and the company proves successful. That's the best education you can have. So I keep saying, all depends, and I know where we're going for the next question. All depends, make a good time of this time. If you go there and sit for the grades and you think what's the big thing achievement you did in your 4 years, 2 years, etc. was a 4.0 grade, good luck, right? That's the only thing I can wish. Good luck, and I hope it works for you. I sincerely hope, right? But my question is always to you guys, why the heck?
So, but a lot of students are thinking that 4 GPA do really matters. They
Good for them.
But so, what do you think that they have to do? What do you think that they have to do in their time?
Make a good use of this time. I keep saying, what if, let's say 40 years or 2 years masters, 4 years graduation or whatever, undergrad, etc. When you go some other universities, which doesn't matter comparison, right? I work in another university, big university, Ivy League. And when students join that university, first thing they say, look, what do you want to do next? First year. The answer could be, I don't have no idea. I want to get a 300K job. I want to build a startup, whatever, right? And then what you know, what you don't know, what's your strength. Okay, let's prepare your curriculum, your journey here to get there. I'm not saying the university should do that, because honestly, that's your problem. Yeah. It's your money, not mine. You pay me, right? It's your money. You're contracting. Mm-hmm. You have to say where you want to go. If you don't know where you want to go, you have to go then, you find an advisor, etc., and say where you want to go, right? if the basis of the education is get the minimum thing, 4.0, etc., good luck. Good luck. Honestly, I wish all my heart. Good luck. I hope it works for you. Right? I keep saying to you, how come I see so few unknown actually. When I did education, not that's a big case, but just how come you don't get in the end? You don't. I don't have a job. What is the ideal? Let's add it a little bit. Okay. So what is, let's say, would be the ideal to end education? Unfeasible, but ideal.
Right.
You get an internship in a big marketing company, in OpenAI. Right? In the last 1 year of your education, you had 1 year internship of OpenAI, of Google or big names, the big hype games, right? You'd say, wow.
Right.
This is you're employable immediately. Anyone will hire you a 300K job, etc. Right? If you get 1 year.
Yeah, of course, yes, 100%.
No, so what's completely the other way around? The worst case scenario, right? You didn't do anything for 4 years and your grade is really low.
Right.
Complete waste of time.
Right.
So a little bit better than that, you go to scales, you didn't do anything, but your grade is 4, 3, and 3. Okay. So from here to there, right? You have to go to first is OpenAI, second level you go second level companies, not mention the name. Third level you go for regional startup companies or business companies, but at least you have the exposure, right? You work in something like that. Another thing that's not comparable, etc. I keep saying, look, why if you cannot find that, why don't you guys have startups? You form startups between you and your colleagues that likely is going to fail, but doesn't matter. At least you got the experience. You got the exposure. More important, the experience, the exposure. Look, you understand that's about create a model. It's about create a product. It's about going to market. It's about how you're gonna get work, money, fundraising, etc. You understood that scenario, which gonna be amazingly valuable for you. Unless you want to be an employee, a low level, secretary level kind of employee, it's amazingly valuable, right? Because you need to know how to bring money, how to sell, how to position, how to do leadership, how to do etc. Use this time wisely. Use this time to build this knowledge in parallel to the technology. I'm going to say, no, it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, if it's your thing. If it's not your thing, try to connect with people, right? Other colleagues that actually stay your thing. Because in the scale, I would say that's the scale, that's the ideal. That's unachievable likely, but that's the ideal world, right? And this is the worst case scenario. Where you want to position yourself in between is up to you. Nobody knows. It's not my job. Position, that's your job. My job is to provide the idea.
Correct.
I do agree with the point of gaining a lot of experience while you're starting up something, for sure, because that's how both of us have learned how to even have these kinds of conversations.